Imagine a life where every day feels the same, where dreams of success and happiness seem just out of reach. Meet Arjun, a young man trapped in the cycle of mediocrity, yearning for a change but unsure how to break free. What if I told you that the answer to his quest for fulfillment lies not in waiting for a miracle, but in discovering the power within himself? Join me as we unravel Arjun's journey to self-reliance and learn how the wisdom of Gautam Buddha transformed his life and how it can transform yours too. In a small village in ancient India, there lived a young man named Arjun, the son of a humble weaver. Arjun was known for his cheerful disposition, but was often frustrated with his life. He dreamed of wealth, prosperity, and recognition, but found himself stuck in the same mundane lifestyle day after day, following in his father's footsteps as a weaver. Arjun's father was wise and knew that his son felt trapped, yet he also knew that true contentment had to come from within. No amount of advice from him would change his son's mind. One day Arjun heard that the Buddha was passing through a nearby town. Inspired by the tales of Buddha's wisdom, he thought, if anyone can help me find happiness and success, it must be Buddha himself. With hope in his heart, Arjun set out on a journey to meet the enlightened one, thinking that maybe Buddha could tell him how to find success and escape his ordinary life. After walking for days, he finally reached the Buddha's camp. He found a quiet place among the crowd that had gathered, eagerly waiting for his chance to speak. As the night deepened, Buddha addressed the crowd with wisdom and calm, his voice like a river that cooled even the most troubled minds. After the talk, Arjun approached Buddha and bowed before him. "Great teacher," Arjun began, "I have come to you for help. My life is ordinary and I feel trapped. My father and I weave cloth every day and yet my heart longs for more. I depend on this trade for my livelihood, but I feel it is keeping me from finding my true happiness. Please show me the way out." Buddha listened to Arjun's worries with deep compassion. He smiled gently and replied, "My dear child, let me tell you a story. Listen closely, for the answer you seek lies within. There was once a young bird," Buddha began, "who lived high in the branches of an ancient tree. One day a fierce storm came, and the branch where the bird's nest was built cracked and broke away, sending the nest crashing to the ground. The little bird was terrified, lost without its familiar home, not knowing where to go or what to do. But despite its fear, the bird had to make a choice, either to keep waiting for its branch to be restored or to spread its wings and fly in search of a new life." Arjun leaned in, fascinated. The bird hesitated. Buddha continued, "It thought, if only I wait long enough, perhaps someone will bring me food, or maybe another branch will appear." But days passed and no one came. Eventually, out of hunger and desperation, the little bird took a leap of faith and flapped its wings. It was a difficult journey, but soon it discovered the joy of flying, of self-reliance. The bird realized it had the power within itself to survive and thrive, no longer dependent on anyone or anything. It was free. Buddha looked at Arjun and paused, allowing the story to sink in. "Do you see, Arjun? The bird's happiness was not in waiting for someone to come and fix its problems. It was in trusting its own strength, in discovering its own wings. Life too is like this. Often we believe we are bound to a particular situation or skill, but freedom, happiness, and success come when we learn to depend on ourselves, just as that bird did." Arjun felt a wave of understanding washing over him. He realized that for too long he had been waiting for a miraculous change to happen, relying on his father's trade to bring him fulfillment, without realizing his own potential. He had become dependent on external circumstances, hoping they would somehow lead him to his dreams. But, like the bird in Buddha's story, he too had wings, his talents, his strength, and his ability to work hard. With a heart filled with newfound determination, Arjun asked, "So, how do I begin this journey of self-reliance, great Buddha?" Buddha smiled again, his gaze filled with kindness. "Start with what you have. Practice contentment in your work, but also begin to explore what more you can create with your own hands, without depending on anyone else. Trust that within you is the power to craft the life you desire." From that day onward, Arjun returned home a changed man. He respected his family trade but also began experimenting with new designs and techniques. Instead of depending solely on his father, he created unique pieces that eventually attracted the attention of travelers and merchants alike. His work became known, and he found both success and happiness, not from changing his life drastically, but by discovering his potential within. Through this story, Gautama Buddha teaches us that dependency often limits us from reaching our full potential. Instead of waiting for someone or something to change our lives, we must learn to trust ourselves, explore our talents, and take steps forward on our own. When we stop relying on others and start relying on ourselves, we discover that the power to succeed and find happiness has always been within us. Just like the bird who learned to fly, we too must spread our wings, trust our capabilities, and find freedom through self-reliance. Thank you for listening to this powerful story about self-reliance and inner strength inspired by Gautama Buddha. If you found wisdom and inspiration here, remember, this is just the beginning. Subscribe now to receive more stories, life lessons, and motivational insights that will help you navigate your own journey to happiness and success. Let's grow together as we explore the teachings that inspire change, one story at a time. Hit the subscribe button and be part of a community where every story adds value to your life. Don't miss out on the next story. Your journey to greatness continues here.